All right, Central Oregon, it's on the map, and you've decided that you want to live somewhere in Central Oregon, but maybe not necessarily in an incorporated town. Maybe you already live here in Central Oregon, like Bend or Redmond, and you want to live somewhere out in the country, maybe not necessarily in a city limits per se, but maybe somewhere in the county. Well, Central Oregon, Deschutes County, Crook County, where we do most of our business, has fantastic unincorporated communities that typically don't get talked about so much as like the Bends, the Redmonds, the Lapines, the Sisters, and the Prinevilles as a means of showcasing what real estate is all about when it comes to Central Oregon lifestyle. But there are multiple unincorporated communities in this area, Central Oregon, that are fantastic areas. People live there. There are thousands of people that make up residences within these unincorporated communities in Central Oregon. And so we want to touch on what those are all about in today's video. So if you like this idea of living in the country, but also near city with all the amenities of Bend and Redmond, then stick around. We're going to be getting after a video talking about the unincorporated portions of Deschutes County and Crook County, where those people are living and what the amenities are all about right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad, the unincorporated areas of Central Oregon where people call home, then subscribe to the channel and tap that notification bell below so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bend and surrounding sunny Central Oregon. My name's Ryan, and I've lived in Bend for over 30 years. My business partner, Zach, and I, we get calls and texts every day from people just like you, looking for help on making their smooth move to Bend or somewhere else here in Central Oregon. So whether you're moving in 90 days or 9 days, we'll go backwards today. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even set up a Zoom. We've got the Zoom link scattered all over the channel here. Click that thing, set up a time that's convenient for you. We'll have a face-to-face conversation through the computer, or if you're local, we can set up a time to meet for coffee or something like that. Anyway, today is all about the unincorporated areas of Central Oregon. Now, I've lived in Deschutes County for basically my whole life. I absolutely love it. I've been all over the county. The west part of the county is where the Cascade Mountains are. That's where the Cascade Lakes are. That's where Mount Bachelor is, where all the ski lakes, where a lot of the fishing areas are. That's where the headwaters of the Deschutes River is. Nobody really lives over there full time, but if we scale over a little bit to central Deschutes County or eastern Deschutes County, that's where people live. And Bend and Redmond, Lapine now, Sisters, Prineville, they get all the notoriety as it relates to where people live because they are the incorporated parts of Deschutes County and Crook County. But there are multiple communities that are unincorporated in the Deschutes County area as well as the Crook County area that have thousands of people living in them, and they are fantastic little communities. We're going to be touching on some of those today. There's probably going to be 5 or 6 on this list. It's a short list, but they are stunning areas, and they are just right next to the incorporated town. So people that want to live in the county, not necessarily in the city, get a chance to take a look at some of these areas and neighborhoods today to see if any of this type of rural living would be a good fit for you, or resort living. So let's just jump right in right now. I'm going to share my screen, and then we can just kind of start talking about what today's video is all about as it relates to rural living in unincorporated areas of Deschutes County and Crook County. So let's take a look here. We've got Deschutes County here. We zoom out a little bit. It's right in the center of the state of Oregon. If we zoom back in, what we're going to see here are all kinds of little towns, right? We've got Bend, we've got Redmond, we've got Sisters, we've got Lapine. Those are the 4 incorporated towns in Deschutes County, but there's several others, as you can see. Today, we're going to be touching on Alfalfa. We're going to be touching on Terrebonne. We're going to be touching on Butte Ranch. We're going to be touching on Sun River, which is actually right here. I haven't zoomed in enough, but a lot of you guys know about Sun River because that's what put Central Oregon on the map for you. We'll also get out to, say, Powell Butte, which is going to be right here in the Crook County area, right on the line there, but it has absolute stunning panoramic views looking to the west of all of Deschutes County. So let's hop right into this whole video here and take a look at our first unincorporated community in Central Oregon. It's going to be Alfalfa. Okay, so Alfalfa is like a rural community about 5 miles to 10 miles to the east of Bend, right on that city limit line. It just kind of turns into Badlands as you go east on Highway 20 on the way to Burns or on the way to Boise, Idaho, if you went far enough. But to the left, just to the north of Highway 20 is going to be the road to Powell Butte and Prineville. But there's a community out there that is called Alfalfa. It's a lot of farmland, agricultural land, a lot of parcels of land with 5 acres, 10 acres, 20 acres, 50 acres, and beyond. There are thousands of people that are scattered out there. The Bend Airport is out there. It's a municipal style airport that has a lot of private hangars. There are hundreds of flights on a weekly basis out there. There's a little restaurant out there. It's pretty unique, but it's just a great little area. If you want to be on the east side of town, there's a lot of fantastic amenities on the east side of Bend there that are just going to be 5 to 10 minutes away from rural lifestyle out in the Alfalfa area. A lot of agricultural land, a lot of irrigated land, but Alfalfa is a fantastic little area. We've driven through there a couple times. We did a video on eastern Deschutes County a couple of months ago, and we had some great footage of what driving through Alfalfa was all about. But like Alfalfa, again, there's several hundred people, maybe up to 1,000 people or more that live in that particular unincorporated area. Again, it's just going to be a region of Central Oregon that has a dedicated name, completely unincorporated. But if you look around here, I mean, Alfalfa, a lot of windy roads, but not as many roads as say in the city there. But there's a store. I mean, that's pretty cool there. You can look around, but just a lot of farmland. This has looked like it's in the summertime, but you can see facing to the west now. Those are the Cascade Mountains there. That's Faith, Hope, and Charity, the three sisters. There's a little store right here, which is pretty unique. But if you just kind of pan around, what you're going to notice is just a lot of farmland. That's Powell Butte over there. That's going to be in Crook County. But Powell Butte is an absolutely stunning little area. It has hundreds of different homes if you're looking for off the beaten path style of living. It's on the way to Prineville. It's on the way to Powell Butte. It's close to Redmond. It's in great proximity to, say, the Brasada Ranch Golf Club, as well as the Pronghorn Golf Club. So it's in a great location just outside the Bend city limits, with hundreds of homes that range anywhere from $600,000 all the way up to probably $2 to $3 million in that range, depending on how big of a parcel of land and what kind of home you're looking for. But a very popular area that gives people space in between residences. So that's number one, the first unincorporated area in Deschutes County and Crook County, Central Oregon region, that people reside. And Alfalfa is a great spot to start. All right, unincorporated area number two in Deschutes County and Crook County, where you have to at least consider if you're looking for a spot living in the county, not necessarily in the city, you want some space. It's Tumalo. Tumalo is just to the northwest of Bend, just a few miles outside the city limits, and it's on Highway 20/22. It's on the way to Sisters. It's an absolutely stunning and charming little town unincorporated, but with all kinds of rural lifestyle amenities surrounding it. There's all kinds of county farmland. There's all kinds of ranch style homes in that area. There are some neighborhoods that are developing, but ultimately speaking, you are in an area with property. You've got irrigation rights. You've got space in between neighbors, but you're also going to be given access, because it's such in short proximity, to a fantastic, charming little town that is Tumalo. Again, it's probably 3 or 4 miles just to the west of Bend and about 15 miles to the east of Sisters. It's on that main drag on the way to Sisters from Bend, and it is a absolute stunner here. We'll take a look at it on the map and give you a feel for it, but this is Tumalo right here. You got to check it out at some point. Again, one of my favorite little spots here. If we zoom in, this is the little town of Tumalo. That can see all Bend right there, but just a couple miles to the northwest is going to be Tumalo, and it's a little town. There's some fantastic little businesses here. We've got the Bite here. This is 7th Street here in Tumalo. If we just were to zip up here, you can take a look here from Google Earth and Google Maps what we got. A great little food truck scene here, but a nice little downtown area here. This is the road that will actually take you out to like Eagle Crest, just to the west of Redmond. And so this is a very popular little old highway as well, but you've got little businesses here. There's gas stations, whatnot, and there's little neighborhoods here and there. But ultimately speaking, if we're to zoom out and kind of take a look at what we have is a small little town here, unincorporated, and then on the outside there's going to be all kinds of rural roads and things of that nature with properties that range from 5 acres up to probably 100 acres or beyond, but the majority of them are going to be like in the 5 to 10 to 20, maybe 30 acre range. And so you've got modern style houses, farmhouses, ranch style houses, and then you have some older ones that are going to be a little bit dated that could be good projects. But there's sweeping views of the mountains in certain spots. You've got the Deschutes River that zips right through the middle of Tumalo and goes to the west of Redmond. So it's an absolutely fantastic little area here. Again, it's off the beaten path. It's not necessarily associated with Bend, even though it's the closest town to Tumalo. Most people will end up going to either Redmond or to Bend for their amenities, but you are literally cinched right in the middle, in between Redmond, Sisters, and Bend. So the location is really key. It's a fantastic spot, and it's a very cute and charming little town that is Tumalo. So something to consider if you're looking for a rural lifestyle with a fantastic location is going to be Tumalo, Oregon. That's number 2 on our list today of unincorporated towns that encompass the Deschutes County and the Crook County area. So right now we're going to jump into number 3. Okay, number 3, unincorporated towns in Deschutes County and Crook County where people have to at least consider moving to or looking into if they don't want to be within a city. Terrebonne, okay, that's to the north of Redmond by about 3 to 4 miles. It is the gateway to the Smith Rock State Park, one of the coolest rock formations in all of the Northwest, maybe on the complete West Coast, but it draws 800,000, maybe 900,000 visitors every single year. And the road to Smith Rock goes right through Terrebonne, Oregon. So let's take a look at what that looks like here on a map, and we can show you guys what that's all about. But Terrebonne is going to be a small unincorporated town of about 1,500 people, just to the north of Redmond, Oregon. It's almost like Redmond and Terrebonne are one and the same, but again, a lot of rural lifestyle out there, a lot of farmland, a lot of people living with plenty of separation in between neighbors. That's something that really draws a lot of people into the Terrebonne area. But there are some fantastic, absolutely fantastic little neighborhoods all within the Terrebonne area and surrounding area. You can see what it looks like here on the map. Redmond's just to the south of Terrebonne, but we got Smith Rock State Park like we talked about. That's going to be the absolute biggest draw when it comes to living in Terrebonne. Highway 97 goes right through the middle of it. Gives you guys a feel for what's going on there. But there are grocery stores, there's gas stations, there are restaurants, there's all kinds of things to do within the Terrebonne area. And it's a fantastic little area in a great location. Again, the annual pumpkin patch at a couple of the farms near Smith Rock, they host these weekend things where kids will come out there in the fall, have families will come out there. It's really fun to just check that out. Just a really cool area. And again, it's about 5 to 10 minutes away from Redmond, probably about 20 to 30 minutes away from the Bend area. And it's really close to the Redmond Airport, which is our commercial airport. Again, so another fantastic area that you have to consider living in if you want to be outside of, say, an incorporated town, but you want to live in Deschutes County and have all the amenities of the Deschutes County lifestyle while living out in the county. Terrebonne, Oregon is definitely a place that you got to consider. We'll show you guys a lot of the clips of what these towns, unincorporated towns, are all about throughout the course of this video. But again, another great spot. That's number 3 on today's list. Number 4 on today's list, unincorporated areas that you got to consider living or moving to if you want to live in Deschutes County or Crook County without having to live within a city. Number 4 is going to be Sun River, probably the most famous on the list. It is an absolute mecca of a resort style community. There's people that know about Sun River on the East Coast that come and visit this area every single year. There are thousands upon thousands of people that will sift through Sun River and stay at the resort year round, but obviously the summertime is going to be the bread and butter for that tourist destination season. Again, like we've talked about in other videos, there's 4 million people that will come through the Deschutes County area and visit on an annual basis, whether it's for work or for pleasure. But Sun River really takes the cake when it comes to being just an absolute mecca of a tourist area that draws people from all over the world to come visit. Sun River is 12 miles to the south of Bend, and it is an unincorporated area, and yes, it draws people as visitors. Mostly it's famous for its resort style living, but you have plenty of people that live within the Sun River area that live full time in Sun River, and we will show you what that looks like here as we share our screen. But Sun River is going to be down here. You can see it here on the county map, about 12 miles to the south of Bend, and it's right on 97, maybe a mile or two to the west of it. Once you get off of the highway there, you get a feel for what it looks like. But this is going to be the map of Sun River. Again, 3 fantastic golf courses, 18 holers, and there's a 4th called Caldera Springs. That's a 9-hole golf course, but truly some stunning golf there. It's just a really cool area. There's bike paths everywhere. The river, Deschutes River, goes right through. You can see this is the north part of the Sun River property here. This is the woodland / the north golf course here. If we were to come down here a little bit, there is a airstrip within the Sun River property too. So people will bring their private jets. They will fly in here. They won't even go to Bend. They'll just stay in Sun River the whole time they're there. The resort style living and the village area is absolutely amazing. You got to check it out. And just go take a look and get a feel for what it's all about, because it really is one of the most unique places. If you live in Bend or Redmond, you can literally just drive up to Sun River, stay there for a weekend, feel like you're in a completely different world. And then when Sunday rolls around, it's time to get up and go home. You're just 15 to 20 minutes away from your house, and you had a chance to go on a vacation where you felt like you were completely just hours upon hours away from your home. And so that's what's magical about Sun River, is that it gives you this vibe and this aura where you feel like you're completely somewhere else, just in like this little village where everybody's there for the same reason. They're all vacationing there. Again, the village has restaurants, it has shops, it has all kinds of amenities for every single age of person. And then of course you've got access to the mountain, which is about a 15-minute drive away. You've got the golf courses that are world-renowned. Crosswater is a world-renowned golf course that has hosted many competitive tournaments in its day. And then you have some other resort-style courses like the Meadows or the Woodlands or Caldera Springs, which are just great at servicing people that love to play the game. There are multiple swimming pools. There are hundreds of miles of bike paths. It's just a very cool area. And again, there are people that live there full time. There's full service brokerages out there. There's mortgage companies out there. There's banks out there. I mean, it's like a town, but it's unincorporated. And again, it probably takes the cake as the #1 area that's unincorporated in the Deschutes County area. And it's certainly famous for a reason, because it has so many people that are drawn to it on an annual basis. So if you like to live in a vibe where you feel like there's a lot going on, there's always some energy in the air, then certainly in the summertime you're going to feel that with Sun River. But also you get some quiet seasons as well, when there's going to be less people that are going to be visiting. But you know, you're still going to get plenty during the holiday breaks, the spring breaks, things like that. It's a little bit higher up in elevation, a little bit more snow than say the Terrebonnes or the Tumalos or the Alfalfa areas, because it is higher up. It's probably 4,200 feet versus like 3,000 to 3,500 for the other 3 that we just did. But again, that's #4 on today's list of unincorporated communities to consider living in if you know you want to be in Deschutes County or Crook County, but you don't necessarily want to be in the city. Okay, #5, unincorporated towns or communities in the Deschutes County area or the Crook County area where you got to consider living if you want to have that kind of lifestyle. Black Butte Ranch is going to be on the list. Absolutely a great, it's another resort style community, probably not as famous as say Sun River, but again, it's a fantastic area. It's very similar to Sun River in many ways. It's going to be to the west of Sisters by about 10 miles. It's in the foothills of the Santiam Pass in the Cascade Mountains, so it's probably a little bit higher in elevation, but it's right at the foothills at the base of Black Butte as well. We'll take a look at what that's all about here in just a second as we share our screen. Again, we've got Deschutes County over here. This is the primary area, but we've got Black Butte. It's up here in the corner, right on the edge of Jefferson County and Deschutes County, and it's on the highway that goes up into the mountains, Santiam Junction. You can see here that's the road to Portland, to Salem, to Eugene, etc. It goes up over the mountain pass. It's a fantastically scenic drive in the summertime. You got to go do that. It's amazing, but Black Butte Ranch is right off of that highway, and it is an amazing property. Some of the most panoramic views of the mountains right there in your face too. So you've got mountain views that are in really far east Deschutes County that kind of see the whole horizon line, and then you've got Black Butte Ranch, which is right there, and those mountains are right in your face on a clear day. They tower up. It's like the Tetons when you're in Yellowstone or something like that. It's pretty neat. But Black Butte Ranch, there are plenty of people that live over there. And generally speaking, it's a resort style community, but people own property in there and they can visit anytime they want to. Ultimately speaking, there are hundreds of different bike paths and things like that. Probably not hundreds of miles of trails per se, like in Sun River, but there are circuits in there on the property that zip around. They go further in to the trees. There are two golf courses that are absolutely fantastic. There are 5 or 6 different swimming pool areas. Again, it is a fantastic area to check out and maybe own a piece of property, whether it's for full-time living or whether it's for investment purposes. But it is absolutely stunning. A lot of people from the valley will come over and visit the Black Butte Ranch area because it's not all the way into Central Oregon, and it's still 30 miles, 40 miles away from Bend and Redmond. And so some people will come over the mountain from the valley. They will visit into the Black Butte Ranch area, and they will enjoy what the amenities are that are Black Butte Ranch. Just be off the grid for a couple days, or they can just live there full time and know that Bend and Redmond, the amenities of Sisters, etc., are just going to be a short drive away. But again, an absolute stunning resort in a great area. It is an unincorporated area of Central Oregon, and a lot of people love it. And it's certainly no secret, but it still flies under the radar compared to some of the other places that we've touched on in this video. Okay, number 6, the final unincorporated area in Central Oregon, whether it's in Deschutes or Crook County, that you got to consider living in, where people call home, live there full time, but don't necessarily have to say they live in Bend or Redmond. Powell Butte. Okay, that's the one in Crook County, right on the east line, county line there of Deschutes County and Crook County. It is an absolutely fantastic area. It goes up, the Butte is just, it's huge, right? That's where Brasada Ranch is, and that's where there are hundreds of other home sites, rural living, agricultural living, but you also get these fantastic views looking to the west. You get some of the most stunning views of the entire valley that is Central Oregon. Then beyond that, the backdrop's going to be the mountains, the Cascade Range, and then the sun goes down in the summertime or any time of year, frankly. But you get some of the best sunsets you'll ever see in the Central Oregon area in Powell Butte. Again, it is about 30 miles to the east of Bend. It's about a 30-minute drive or so, give or take. But it is in a stunning location here. We'll give you guys a feel for that on the map. Powell Butte's right here. You can see that it's over in Crook County there. Prineville is about a 15 to 20-minute drive away, and it is close to Redmond as well. So it's right in between, basically, Prineville and Redmond. A lot of people that live in the Powell Butte area will just commute to Redmond or Prineville and hardly ever go to Bend, frankly, because they don't need to, and they enjoy that rural lifestyle, whether they're ranching or they just like to have the property and the space in between neighbors. They like the views. They just like the vibe out there. It's in Crook County, a little bit of a different jurisdiction per se. I mean, Crook County versus Deschutes County, but it is a stunning area. It is unincorporated. There are thousands of homes that encompass that particular area. There's many people that love to call Powell Butte their home, and there are some businesses too that like to call Powell Butte their home as well. And so if we get here, a little street side view, you can see here that we've got some commerce. here in Powell Butte, we zip up here. This is basically going to be the little Powell Butte town, right? There's a country store, there's a gas station, there's a school, all these things. This is where I ended that video I did of Eastern Deschutes County several months ago. But this right here, if we're going this way, this is eastbound. This will take you to Prineville. That's about a 15-minute drive. This is Powell Butte up here as well. But you can see the rural lifestyle that is really basically what this area is all about. And so again, it's just a fantastic spot there. I mean, Crook County, Deschutes County, it's a small enough region. There's 225,000 people in the Deschutes County area, and there's probably another 25,000 people in the Crook County area. What I'm saying is that it's a large body of land with really not that many people, right? There's just plenty of room to be able to be in one spot versus the other. And ultimately speaking, you can live anywhere in Central Oregon and be able to enjoy that Central Oregon lifestyle. If you want to drive into Bend from Powell Butte for a Saturday night, you can totally do that. It takes about 30 minutes. Have a nice dinner in Bend that otherwise isn't offered in Prineville or Redmond. Or you can just go out to Prineville and enjoy that. A little bit calmer, a little bit more laid back lifestyle. You're right there. But anywhere in Central Oregon, Deschutes County, you're going to be in a good spot, whether you're in a city or you're just out in the county somewhere. But those 5 or 6 different unincorporated communities that I mentioned today are going to be the primary areas where people live, not in city limits. So hopefully this video serves you well, gives you some context and perspective, because we're starting to get calls. People want to live on some acreage. We get a lot of people that call us from California or from Seattle. They live in the city. They're tired of living in the city. They got some money to spend. They want to come down here and get a little bit of space, maybe a little buffer zone, something like that. And there's plenty of that. You just got to figure out where in the area that you want to be, whether it's going to be up in the northwest corner of Deschutes County like Black Butte, or if you want to be in the south part of Deschutes County, a little bit higher in elevation like in Sun River, or if you want to be east, okay, a little bit further east, a lot of new development, different vibes out east versus say on the very far west edge of the county, because it is a melting pot, right? This area is a melting pot. 4 million visitors a year will do that to you. But Bend is the hub. Redmond is also kind of the semi-hub there. It's got the airport, and Highway 97 goes right through both of them. So they're going to get the majority of the traffic, but you can still find unincorporated areas that are fantastic, that get less traffic. You could be living a little bit more of a quiet lifestyle, while also being just a short distance away from all the action. So thank you for watching. My name is Ryan. I'm a licensed broker with eXp Realty. I'm so glad you're watching these videos. If you haven't done so yet, please like the video, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, drop a comment in the comment section below. What else do you want us to cover here? We're getting into that spring season. Activity starting to pick up. We're very excited about that, and we're excited to hear from you when it's your time. So thanks again for watching, and please reach out when it's your time. Thank you guys. Have a good day.